guys, it's Dr. Drake 63 here today, and going to give you a little teaser for an upcoming group of videos that I'm going to do. We're going to build, and I use that term loosely, I think assemble is a better way to put it, assemble an AR platform firearm. And at this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to go with something that's going to end up being a 5.56, or if it's going to be perhaps 6.5 Grendel that I might do some actual hunting with. So we're not sure about that. But at this point, we are going to start with the lower. And today, while I can still do this in this country, I went out and purchased the first part you need. This is the part that gets registered. It is the lower, and this is what's called a strip lower. Most of you guys know that. Strip lower means that this has been machined, that this has been drilled, and it's ready to go as far as putting in springs, detents, trigger, and all the different things you need to do. We're not going to do that today, but I'm just going to kind of give you a preview of what I'm doing. I'm using a Spikes, and I know there's good things about these particular components, and so we're going to do that, and hope you'll enjoy it. We'll do it a little bit step by step, and the whole purpose of this, again, like I said, if you're a guy that's built ARs before, you're not going to probably learn anything new from me. However, if you've always wanted to, or you're interested in doing it, the series of videos I'll have coming up here over the course of the next month or so, we'll document that stuff for you. So we're going to try to explain it as best we can. And at the end of the day, we're going to end up with the rifle that is the object of hatred, object of ridicule, object of a lot of misunderstanding, and that is the AR platform. Gets blamed for a lot of stuff. Tends to be the symbol, if you will, for the people that believe that Americans shouldn't have the right to have semi-automatic rifles, and if they do, then they certainly shouldn't be black. Anyway, hope you'll enjoy watching this series. Gonna just give you an idea of some of the parts involved and things like that, and a little bit more overview before we wrap this up today. But I'm looking forward to bringing you this series of videos. Like I said, if you've never done this before and you've always wanted to, this is a good time to do it, guys, because I've got kind of a bad feeling when it comes to the AR platform. I don't believe they're going to ban them or confiscate them in this country, but I believe the next step that you could see happen is that these become NFA items. In other words, tax stamp, long approval process, expense, the whole 9 yards via the BATF. I would see that as a first step prior to some of the other things that are being discussed. And, you know, I think I got my first AR originally back years ago was because I knew that there was a lot of people that thought I shouldn't be able to have them. And best way to make me want to do something is tell me I shouldn't do it or tell me I can't do it. So anyway, hope you enjoy watching this series. This is Dr. Drake 63. So I mentioned that Spikes makes good stuff. This is the Bolt Carrier Group off of an SBR 300 Blackout that I have had for a while now. I say SBR because the barrel here is less than 16 inches. This cannot be an adjustable stock. It could be a rubber arm brace and a lot of derivations and things that look like a stock and act like a stock, but it can't be an actual fixed or adjustable hard stock like you see here. And I wanted it to be that way, so I actually went out and popped for the tax stamp on this. But as you see, this almost looks like a NASCAR advertisement. You've got components from Daniel Defense, Spikes, Tactical, as we talked about. You've got a Seekins handguard. This compensator's from Kaw Valley. You've got a Daniel Defense front grip. You know, I could keep going. This particular component right here, this lower, is from Palmetto State Armory. And they do a really good job. I'm a big fan of their stuff, and I'll probably get some of the components that I use for this next build from them. But this particular stripped lower is just a nice design. I like the spider that Spikes has. And you can see it gives you the option on your selector switch of safe and on. That's all you have. This isn't any kind of a full auto or anything like that. That would be a tack stamp. But anyway, looking at this, what you'll notice is that there's nothing inside. There's no trigger. There is no magazine catch. There's no detents, any of the things that you need to make this operational. It's just a hunk of metal that's been machined and drilled, and there you have it. You will see different makers of this. My understanding, though, in terms of the actual number of places that forge these in the United States is something like 5 or 6 different places that do these. And you'll see a lot of people put down the Anderson stuff, which tends to be cheap, so forth and so on. I've not ever had one of these pieces fail. I have had some that are better machined than the others. This particular build right here will be build, I think, number 7 for me. Not 100% sure. But I've got some spare parts sitting around that, you know, some of the things you need, and it's just kind of going through my AR box, my junk drawer, if you will. Here I've got a stock, need a buffer tube. I've got some different attachments, flip up sight. These are why I have so many of these, but these are the pins that you use to hold the upper to the lower. I've got spring and detent kits, stuff like that, firing pin, flash hider, you name it. So I've got stuff available, and I'm going to have to go through this, figure out what I need, because I don't have everything I need. And what I really don't have is a barreled upper assembly. That's going to be the big item that will match, and I don't know if I'm going to actually buy a barrel and assemble the upper myself or just buy it complete, so that remains to be seen. The other thing that I don't have to decide while I'm working on this lower yet is caliber. Now, it does need to be 5.56/223 or 300 blackout or 6.5 Grendel, and I think there's some other options. Like I said, this one right here is 300 blackout. And this little beauty right here is one of the most accurate rifles I've ever owned, and I would not have expected that out of an 8.5-inch barrel. I would not have expected that, and it's not an especially expensive upper or anything that I bought here. It just turned out to be a real nice barrel, and it works great. But this is going to be a non-SBR. It's not going to be a pistol. It's not going to be anything of that nature. This is going to be something that we use somewhere between a 16 and an 18-inch, I imagine. But I'm looking forward to putting this together. We might do a 14.5-inch barrel and pin a compensator on as well. But I think it'll be fun, and like I said, I'm going to kind of walk you guys through it step by step. This is going to be an upcoming portion of videos, and don't expect to see anything on this for a couple weeks anyway. But I will be getting some parts together, and we'll go. So there is that.